submit to you, even if Netanyahu were not in office, which he may not be in the future, that democratic feelings towards Israel would still remain pretty anti. Maybe even more so with this new round of social standards,
YouTube for me. Make sure that's up. Should be. Facebook real quick.
It is live on the YouTube.
Is it showing? You got that stuff?
That's right. Emmanuel's trying to lay out a position for the establishment that is critical of Israeli policy, but doesn't wholeheartedly abandon the alliance. The problem is that many of the claims he made in his speech are just not true. He said that Israel is alone on the global stage. That's just false. The U.S.-Israel alliance continues, and moreover, before Operation Event Fury, Narendra Modi, the leader of the largest country and democracy in the world, visited the Israeli Knesset and spoke glowingly of
HD was
Israeli-Indian
hidden behind the belt.
Israel's not isolated. Then Emmanuel
HD was hidden behind it.
I had it over here, and I had to slide it over here.
being excluded.
What was the microphone covering?
No, it's actually the belt.
The belt.
Is the BDS movement, the anti-Semitic
Can you adjust it on the chair? On the back of the chair there? I doubt it.
Finally,
I doubt it.
if you have a 23-state solution to the Arab League, then all of a sudden you can have peace in the Middle East. He's avoiding the fact that the main obstacle to peace in the Middle East, John, is not Israel, it is the Palestinian rejection of Israel's right to exist. We gotta go, folks. I think I agree. I just really enjoyed the discussion. Let's be honest, the math just isn't matching. Between the grocery store and those skyrocketing insurance premiums.
Ooh, dokie dokie.
More families are being forced to rely on high-interest credit cards to cover expenses. If you're a homeowner carrying balances with interest rates in the 20s or even 30s, it's time to get some relief. Right now, mortgage rates are at a 3-year low, and American Financing is helping homeowners pay off that high-interest debt by using their home's equity. Their salary-based mortgage consultants build exit strategies from debt. They're saving their customers an average of $800 a month. Plus, if you start today, you may even delay the next 2 mortgage payments. There are no upfront fees or obligations to find out how much you can save. America's home for home loans is American Financing. American Financing, 888-994-7660. That's 888-994-7660. Or AmericanFinancing.net, NMLS 182334. NMLS Consumer Access.
Weber Chevrolet. In the auto business, you don't just automatically stick around for 120 years. You gotta earn it. We've come a very long way from selling wagons and farm implements and the like on the riverfront, where the arch now stands. Now, we have 4 great dealerships in the St. Louis and Southern Illinois areas, all in the 2
7 minutes before we
It's a
go
legacy built
live.
on trust, hard work, and commitment to our community. But what matters most is you, our valued customers. It's no surprise, times have changed. Vehicles have changed, car
I
buying
need
has changed.
YouTube
But
monitor.
we're still here to do
YouTube
what
for me.
we've done for the past 120 years, helping people find great cars and trucks
Not
to
saying
meet their
there's
family's
anybody gonna
needs
be talking,
and
but
budgets.
just in case.
And that's something that nobody else can say.
I'll be flipping
See for
back
yourself
and
why
forth
for
between the two.
120 years.
All right, well, good morning,
you can rely on.
Facebook
This
Nation,
is
YouTube channelers,
Columbia, Illinois,
Uncensored Wrestling Talk live on the stream right now. We'll be going live on the radio in
From
about
the Gateway Fiber Studios.
6
Online at
minutes and about 5
gatewayfiber.com.
seconds.
News Radio 105.3, 1280 KYR.
Today we'll go over,
It's 10
next
o'clock
weekend will
Broadway.
be Saturday night's main event. There's only been a couple of matches announced for that one so far. But we'll talk about it and give our predictions on that.
But seriously, what weak card so far for the main event?
Well, I mean, it is what it is. It's WWE these days. I mean, it is what it be.
But yet, they expect us to pay all this money just to be able to see
Of
it.
course. Then, of course, we'll also go over everything that happened this week in the world of professional wrestling. I mean, Monday night, there was titles galore across the spectrum here. Dynamite was a solid show this week. We're definitely going to be talking about that. We had Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night NXT, Wednesday Night Dynamite. We had Thursday's Impact as well. Friday Night SmackDown, Collision last night, AAA. Did you catch AAA last
I
night?
did not catch AAA last night.
Some
That's
interesting
what I
stuff
got
going
kinda
on
like
in
booked for
AAA.
me to watch tonight on YouTube.
Definitely watch it. If you haven't seen that one yet, definitely go and see that. That was a good one last night.
5 stars across the board.
I won't give it away
Service
yet.
Contracts and no cancellation fees. Just phenomenal.
We've got about 4 minutes and 40 seconds before we go live on the radio.
Say Mike Bro and switch to a 5-star American wireless company. We won't let you down. You're a top.
Ah! How's that picture look on YouTube?
Good.
Discounts hitting harder than Paul's chili. Like one little laugh, that's all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Good RX. Good RX. I'm sure.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The NASDAQ and the S&P 500 end the week slightly higher, both up between 1% and 2%. Facebook parent company Meta was
Maximus Stone.
Maximus Stone.
The co-champion.
Nope, wrong. He's the main champion, the only champion. Maximus sends positive vibes for a great show, and remember, the road to Troy is paved in stone. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
And a top economist warns that inflationary pressures are here.
Hope you're having a great morning this morning there, champ.
Conference board chief
Seen him earlier this week at the Race Wrestling Arena. Training hard.
Training hard.
Training hard.
That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Roger.
We've got about 3 minutes and 5 seconds before we go live on the radio.
Stay on top of the
course, live on both
America's Weather Team in the palm of
Facebook
your
and
hand.
on the YouTube this
It's
morning.
Fox weather
Yep.
updates throughout your busy day,
And again,
every day.
Saturday night's main event next week. We've got stuff to talk about from throughout the week of professional wrestling. Plus, you know, there's been a few more names that have been announced for the NWA Showcase, the 2026 Territory Classic, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, the
It's gonna
gold
be fun.
circuit
It's
is
gonna be
sold
good.
out.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
big time. It's been sold out for
For a
weeks,
while.
for weeks and weeks. In fact, from what I was being told earlier this week, there ain't that many tickets left in general. So get those tickets. FartherRace.com. I've said it 1,000 times in
Yep.
here in a little bit. I'll say it again. Everybody knows pretty much what I'm gonna say.
Right.
Pulling pranks on the suicide prevention hotline. Yes, you heard that right. Trisha Burns lied to the police and staged a fake suicide emergency. She sent a series of messages to the hotline and said she, quote, had a gun to her head, end quote. When she got caught, she said there'd be no consequences because she's a politician. By August 4th, vote to show Trisha Burns that there are consequences to being bad at your job. Cut the Bullpack paid for and is
Cut the
responsible for
Bullpack.
the content of this advertising, not authorized by
Cut the
any candidate
Bullpack.
or candidate committee.
Minute and a half, and we go live on the radio.
In the World Cup quarterfinals on Saturday night.
Have you been paying any attention to the soccer, to the football,
No.
to the World Cup?
All I know is Argentina has some guy, Messi or Messi.
Messi,
Messi.
Lionel Messi.
That's probably going to get the golden boot.
Yeah, he's in the lead as far as his leading
His
goals being scored throughout the tournament so far.
But all the host teams, Canada, United States, and Mexico, have been ousted.
Yep.
Which busted my bracket because I had Mexico going a long way.
Three of the 4 teams that are left now are from Europe, and then of course the other one from South America, Argentina.
Right.
It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
RBI in a 9-2 win over the Dodgers in LA. Padres over the Toronto Blue Jays 8-7 at San Diego.
San Diego!
Weather Center, here's your updated KY
Jennifer
forecast.
Borzinski.
Daytime highs approaching 86. Today, under clear skies. Lows dip down to about 65. Tonight, clear skies. Sunshine expected tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 87. Right now, 78. That's the latest from News Radio KYRO. I'm meteorologist Jennifer.
And here we go. Mics are going live. Well, good Sunday morning. We are live coming to you from the Gateway Fiber studio of News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. Of course, also we are live on our streams on the Facebook page and the YouTube channel. All you got to do is type in Uncensored Wrestling Talk. Boom, there it is. Join us. There's an interactive chat. You can get your questions and your comments in, and even if they're not clean, we'll still clean them up, and we will let everybody know what you think of what's going on the show this morning. I am Sergeant. With me this morning, one of my co-hosts. He is the Nematode Nelly. He's the super fan, Tim Williams. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, everyone.
Real quick. We're already getting comments into the Facebook chat. Maximus Stone, of course, our Uncensored Wrestling Talk champion. Don't even go there. Don't even go
He's
there.
A co-champion.
Maximus sends positive vibes for a great show. And remember, the road to Troy is paved in stone. I love that saying. I love it. Of course, Mama Bear, Sherry Harley in the Facebook chat, saying good morning, guys. Well, good morning to you, Miss Mama Bear. Hope you're having a great Sunday morning. Whew. All kinds of things shaking and going on this week, my brother. But first, let's talk about the main sponsor for our show. It is NWA World League Wrestling. Yesterday on CW11, KPLR TV, another episode showing of World League Wrestling Showdown. And in that one, it was the first matchup between Sophia Rose and Cameron Burnett, of course, the NWA World League Ladies Division Champion. And then also, you could call it a grudge match, really. It was the 99 overall Chris Danger taking on the Deliverer Moses.
Yep.
And then I also had an interview with Cameron Burnett, which got interrupted by both Hera and Lilith Khan.
Exactly.
Now, if you missed that episode, this coming Thursday, download that Fox 2 STL Plus app, because it'll be on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. It'll be the replay of that episode. You can get it on your phone. You can get it on your computer. Heck, you could put it on your Roku TV, Amazon TV, Fire Stick TV. Absolutely free.
Absolutely free. There's no reason why people shouldn't be catching Showdown now.
There really isn't. There really isn't. You've got it on YouTube. You've got it on the St. Louis Airwaves. You've got it on 2 different channels in Columbia, Missouri.
Right.
You've got it on St. Joseph, Missouri. You've got it on the Intrigue TV network, which goes from Houston, Texas, all the way up to Boston, Massachusetts.
Absolutely.
A lot of people say, up to New York City. And it is on in New York City, on a couple of different stations in New York City. But you know what? A lot of people don't realize that Boston is further northeast of New York.
Yeah.
So we stretch. We like to stretch it on out there now.
One day we'll be globally.
It is 80 degrees already here in the St. Louis area, feeling like 92. The heat is going to come in like crazy today.
Well, it's all the rain we had yesterday.
Yeah.
Now it's time to burn it off.
A little bit. But, I mean, as far as mornings go, it's a gorgeous St. Louis morning here. And I hope that everybody else out there is having just as good a morning as it is here weather-wise.
Right.
Now, if you step outside, it is a little warm. But if you're in the shade, it's not that bad. Really.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. So, let's get back to World League Wrestling here, because the next live event at the Race Wrestling Arena will be August the 15th. NWA Showcase, the 2026 Territory Classic, where all of the territories of the NWA are going to be coming together for one special night. It's going to be a tournament to see who exactly is the best of the best in the territories. And I tell you what, we've got some names that have been dropped already for this one. But before I go over those names, these are the territories that are going to be participating. It'll be NWA Joe Kazana Promotions Southeast, NWA Chicago, Dog Pound Championship Wrestling, TSW, or Texas Style Wrestling, KFW, NWA New Mexico, or Duke City Championship Wrestling, Fight the World Wrestling. All those territories coming together. You know, last week we announced one name, and that was from NWA Joe Kazana Promotions.
Mm-hmm.
Chase Emery has been entered into the tournament. And then earlier this week on Facebook, out of TSW, Texas Style Wrestling, it'll be Bam Bam Malone joining in on this particular tournament. And then representing World League Wrestling in the NWA Showcase 2026 Territory Classic will be none other than the reigning NWA World League Heavyweight Champion and holder of Harley's Crown, the Grand Regent, Camaro Jackson.
I was so happy to have that announcement that Camaro Jackson is going to represent NWA WLW here. He's got a tall challenge in front of him, but of anybody that can come out the victor, definitely Camaro.
Now, Camaro enters this tournament carrying more than championship gold. He carries the pride of World League Wrestling, the responsibility of defending his home territory, and the legacy of the man whose name hangs over the Harley Race Wrestling arena and over World League Wrestling. So that's a big, tall task.
It's a tall task.
It's a tall task. You know, also, again, in the Facebook chat room, the biggest little dog in World League Wrestling, your main nemesis.
I guess he got out of his little dinghy.
The all-day Aiden Riley. He says, "Good morning, goobers. I left my dad's birthday raisin cream pie overnight in my truck. I'm the world's worst son."
Yeah, well, that might have spoiled.
You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. But you know, get your tickets right now. NWA Showcase 2026 Territory Classic at HarleyRace.com. Don't wait, don't wait. I know that we've got slightly over a month left, but I also know that the Gold Circle, as they call it, ringside seats, there are none left. And from what I was told earlier this week, there aren't many actual regular tickets left either. So this could be another situation where the boss might just have to open up some new space,
right?
Possibly, but where are we going to get the space
I don't know.
from?
I mean,
I don't know.
We got seats everywhere to begin with.
No, and I've said this before, and it's really, really true. You've sat pretty much everywhere in the arena. There's not one bad seat in that entire arena.
No matter where you're at, I mean, you're on top of the ring. So it's a great venue. It's great action, and it's a lot of fun. So get your tickets now.
Absolutely.
They're going to be gone soon.
Don't wait until the day of, because if you do, I've said it 1,000 times before, I'll say it again. You wait until the day of, I can almost guarantee you that you will be on the outside looking in, wondering what the heck is going on inside.
Absolutely.
So, with that being said, next Saturday night, before we get into all the rest of the things that were going on this week, next Saturday night is WWE Saturday Night's main event. And we're going to talk about that one. And then next Sunday morning, yourself and our missing resident referee,
He's right over here.
Mr. 1,
Mr.
2,
Rex.
3,
No.
HD Daniels. He'll be running the board. You'll be running the show with him. I'll be down in Texas myself. But you guys will have the results by then, and you guys will definitely go over everything next weekend. However, right now, and I'm sure there'll probably be 1 or 2 more matches added to this card for this one. But as it stands right now, there is only 3 matches that have been announced. One of the first matches that was announced is going to be Danhausen taking on J.D. McDonough, who will have, excuse me, the Dirty Dominic Mysterio, the king of the luchadors, the AAA Mega Champion, will be in his corner. And I'm sure Danhausen will have some folks in his corner as well.
Yeah.
It could be Miz, it could be Kid
the
Wilson,
zombie duo
could
there
be
or whatever.
Matt Cardona. But I'm sure he's not going to go down there empty-handed. If he does, that'd be kind of
Are we
stupid
going
on
to
his
finally
part.
see who's underneath the sheet?
Hey, you never know. You just never know.
And Wardlow appears.
Think about this for a second. Now, I know he hasn't been in WWE for a while, but what if they were to re-sign and underneath the sheet comes Braun Strowman?
See, I mean, he's doing a lot with his food show right
He
now.
has
I
been.
don't know if...
But you got to remember, all those are pre-taped.
Yeah.
All of them.
No,
They're all
I know
already
they're
done. Even the new ones that are coming in the weeks to come, they're
I
already
understand
done and in
that.
the can,
I
as they
understand that.
say. You know,
It wouldn't shock me.
I'm going to go on a limb right here and right now, and I'm going to say that good old Danhausen, very evil, very nice, or very nice, very evil, whichever way that you want to say it, he's going to pick up the win in this one.
If it was a straight-up wrestling match, he'd have no chance. But
No chance.
You know there's going to be shenanigans, or you know there's going to be chaos, and
And J.D.
unfortunately...
McDonough is already cursed.
Right. You know, as much as I would love J.D. McDonough to get more props behind him, but you're right, it's Danhausen.
Very
And,
much so it's going to be Danhausen.
Just another one of bad storytelling
Plus,
by
it'll be
WWE.
this particular Saturday night's main event is going to be at Madison Square Garden,
Right.
right there in the middle of New York City. And
Yeah.
he'll probably also get back that jersey that was gifted to him by the New York Knicks.
Right.
For him lifting the curse off of them, which, you know what? After he lifted that curse,
I know, it's crazy
they
that it
went
worked out.
13-1.
That's crazy that he curses them and then he lifts the curse and they ended up winning the championship.
Whew.
What are the odds? Conspiracy theory? I don't think so.
Tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. It's going to be Paige and Brie Bella, the champions, taking on Fatal Influence, and of course that'll be Laney Reed and Fallon Henley, and they'll have JC Jane in their corner. And you know what? I'm gonna go on a limb again. And I'm going to say, and I think at the moment, that Fatal Influence has all the momentum
Right.
going in. I mean, of course, we've got Monday Night Raw, and we've got SmackDown to go through. But as of right now, they've got the momentum here. And I am kind of thinking probably during the week, Paige and Brie Bella will probably turn things around and get the momentum back on their side, whether it be a match with Fallon Henley or, you know, something along those lines. Maybe it'll be Brie Bella and Fallon Henley. Who knows? But somehow Paige and Brie Bella will get the momentum back on their side.
Right.
But they'll end up losing the belts at Saturday night's main event. What do you think?
So you're actually going to go Fatal Influence.
I'm going with Fatal Influence.
You know, that's my original pick, and I think you're mind melding something with me, trying to grab my pick before I say something.
Absolutely not.
I really agree. I think this is time that the Brie and Paige run of tag team champions, it's over. I hope it's over. So I am actually going to agree with you and take Fatal Influence.
For
on this.
you, with Paige and Brie Bella as the champions, even though they just won them a few months ago at WrestleMania, has it, I don't want to use the word old, okay, because it's only been a few months,
Right.
so it can't be old, okay, but has it gotten a little bit stale to you?
It got stale day 2. After they won it.
You're
in
just being
WrestleMania.
ridiculous.
No, it has got stale. I mean, they figure out a way to win. You know, they're always coming up with something, using their experience to overcome the odds. After a while, it's old. You know,
Hey,
give
real
it to the
quick,
kids. Give it to the kids.
in the Facebook chat, we have former WLW senior referee and now working down out of Florida, Mr. Richard White in the chat room.
Good morning,
Good
Richard.
morning, Richard. Hope that you're having a good time down there in Florida. We miss you up here. Can't wait to see you soon. And when you do come through, gotta have you come in and be on the show with us and tell us all about your happenings going on down there
Absolutely.
in good old Florida. You know, we mentioned that the stream's going on right now, the Facebook and the YouTube
Mhm.
channel. We also are on X at UW Talk, KYRO.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a Discord channel.
Yeah, Discord. It's Uncensored Wrestling Talk Show. I mean, any day with the ends in a Y, we're in there. It's a great forum to tell us what you think. We do a lot of chatting back and forth, stirring the pot, trying to make each other kind of go crazy a little bit. So come in and join the chat.
Well, the part of that he did not say is that every day that ends in Y, there's some sort of wrestling event going on. And it is true. One or two, and sometimes all three of us are in there chit-chatting with anybody and everybody that's up in there. And we're talking about everything that's going on real time.
Mhm.
So a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun up in that Discord channel. Also, from Trisha McGarry Williams, she says, "Good morning, Sergeant Tim. An extra large yeet to you both." Well, a big old yeet right back to you, Miss Trisha. It's good to see you in the chat room there, my friend. Whew. With all that being said, guess what time it is?
It's about time for our first break.
It is time that we go ahead and we take our very first break. But you know, I want to say that for this first break, it's only gonna be 59 seconds.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and do it. And then when we come back, we'll jump into the main event for Saturday night's main event for next Saturday night. Right after this.
For slow internet, press 1. For indifferent customer service, press 2. For confusing pricing, press 3. For extremely long wait times, stay on the line. For 87th line, 85th line, 87th line, 85th line, 85th line.
Where there was frustration, now there's satisfaction.
Hello, this is Helen at Gateway Fiber. How may I help you?
Isn't it time to refresh your internet provider? For more information, visit gatewayfiber.com.
Finley Shoe Store is a local family and veteran-owned tradition in historic downtown Troy, Missouri, dedicated to serving the local community and providing great customer service. Their brands include Red Wing, Irish Setter, Works, Birkenstock, Brooks, Merrill, New Balance, Skechers, Thorogood, as well as Superfleet insoles, state-of-the-art 3D foot scanner to ensure you get just the right insoles for you. Finley Shoe Store providing men's and women's quality footwear in Lincoln County area since 1947. Finley Shoes, 636-528-8247.
And here we go, mics are going live. Welcome back this Sunday morning. We are in the first hour of Uncensored Wrestling Talk live from the Gateway Fiber studio of News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. Of course, we are also on our streams, both on Facebook and on YouTube. Type in Uncensored Wrestling Talk, and you can jump into those chat rooms and interact with us and let us know what your thoughts are or questions or what have you. Converse between you.
Yeah.
Whatever. And it'll get read here on the radio of what you are saying. Trisha McGarry Williams also saying a big old, all capitalized letters, a yeet to Rex over here,
Yeah,
taking the
co-host.
place of
Co-host.
our resident referee, Mr. 123 Yeet, HD Daniels, as he has been out this weekend with little HD doing some camping stuff. So I hope they're having a great
Boy Scout
time.
stuff, yep.
But he will be back in studio next Sunday morning, along with the superfan here, Tim Williams. For I am going to be out of town, and you guys are going to be running the show.
I have to bring.
I'm worried,
I'll have to
folks.
bring Rex again, just so he could oversee what's going on. He has a lot to say. I can
He
tell.
has my permission to bite both of you if you act up in any sort of way. In any sort of... Hey, you know what? I might even have all day Aiden Riley show up just to keep at least you in line.
Might not have a station after that.
Better sign the waivers.
Oh, yep.
You better sign the waivers. That's all I can say. Better sign the waivers. All right, main event. Now, this was made on Friday night SmackDown, by returning general manager Nick Aldis, as he has finished his suspension, so to speak. It will be none other than CM Punk, we'll hold off on that. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes taking on, which I find is the odd couple here.
Right.
Gunther and Sami Zayn. It's going to be an interesting situation on that.
Yeah, it's going to be one where what is really going to happen and who's going to, stab each other in the back first. I mean, Sammy and Gunther don't get along. Yeah, Punk and Cody seem to be friends at this point, but their
friendship goes out the window when it's a one-on-one match, and we know this. And you know what? That's the way it should be.
Right, but who's going to take the first shot over the bow? So I actually think Gunther and Zayn are actually going to come out the victors in this.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting. I'm going to hold off on my prediction on this one until a little bit later when we do get to SmackDown and we do talk about everything that happened. Because, and even Monday Night Raw, because
there's a lot of stuff
that went on. And, speaking of, before we do that, real quick, in the Facebook chat room, Jimmy Harris Sr. saying, morning all, have a yeet of a great day. Thank you for joining us there, Jimmy. We appreciate you.
I think I'm going to start calling him Little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy. You can't. There's already a Little Jimmy. You can't. You can't.
He's the one that came out with all the songs.
Could be. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this. From results from this week. Monday Night Raw. Let's go ahead and start there. The World Tag Team Championship was on the line as the Street Profits were defending against Braun Breaker and Austin Theory. And who didn't think that Braun Breaker and Austin Theory wasn't going to come out the victors, especially after they had a little discussion with Paul Heyman in the back.
Yeah.
And him telling him basically, look, you better capture the championships or I ain't having nothing else to do with you.
Yeah, he kind of made it sound like they've got to prove themselves in Paul's eyes again. And he said, you better get the job done.
But it really wasn't them that quote unquote got the job done in a, I guess you could call it a heel turn here.
Right.
It really makes you wonder where it's going to put her with these other folks. But Maxine Dupree showing up out of nowhere and low blowing.
Giving the old low blow.
Giving the old low blow to Montez. It was Angelo Dawkins.
Angelo Dawkins.
And subsequently, Austin Theory pinning Dawkins for Theory and Braun Breaker to win the WWE World Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, even afterwards when they had a little brief run-in with Paul Heyman again, Paul was like, hey, you guys did a good job. And it's only one person. He points to Maxine Dupree.
Yep. Now it makes you wonder, And after they left, after they kind of walked out and left the arena, both, Otis and Tozawa kind of stepped out of her room and saw her walking out and was like, what the heck is going on here?
Right.
I guess that little trio is now done?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean, is it a good move for Maxine Dupree to join the Vision or kind of...
I think it kind of is.
Yeah.
I think it kind of is. I've been saying it for a while. Maxine Dupree's wrestling skills have gotten better as we have gone along. But on the mic, though, there's some much needed improvement that needs to happen there. But at the same time, it's like, well, if that's the case, why not give her somebody who can talk? And who better than Paul Heyman?
Right. I kind of like the idea if they kind of throw her in a little bit of a valet role for a while.
Mm-hmm.
One, it gets her more exposure on television.
I would love to see her.
Give her some time.
I would love to see her jumping up into the squared circle with Paul Heyman in her corner.
Yeah.
Not just being the quote unquote valet to Theory. Well, I guess subsequently to Breaker and Logan Paul as well, but really more she's with Austin Theory.
Right.
So, but I would love to see her jumping up into the ring with Paul Heyman in her corner. So let's see what she can do here.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how this one actually plays out.
Granted, she lost to Sol Ruca not that long ago, but she had a great showing in that match against Sol Ruca and came real close on a couple of different occasions of winning that Women's Intercontinental Championship. So on that basis alone, she kind of deserves another shot.
I think
at some point down the road.
Yeah.
I think she's got to build that back up again a little bit, but she can do that with Paul Heyman in her corner.
Right. Yeah, I mean, again, you can build that back up, get the momentum just by associating with the Vision and Paul Heyman.
We will see. We will see what happens. Speaking of the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and speaking of that said champion, Sol Ruca, she defended that championship against Raquel Rodriguez. And are you surprised that Sol Ruca was able to defeat Raquel Rodriguez?
Actually, I was surprised. I figured finally they're going to take the belt off Sol Ruca and put it on somebody that deserves it and can carry it for a while. But Sol Ruca was able to figure out a way to win.
Well, I'll tell you exactly how she figured out how to win.
She hit the soul snatcher.
She did hit that soul snatcher, but only after the other Judgment Ladies came down, Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan, but then Io Sky came down and was somehow able to take all of them out.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was one-on-one, and Raquel wasn't paying attention. She was paying attention to the outside chaos going on, and Sol Ruca coming in, jumping off that buckle and catching her 1, 2, 3, and Sol Ruca remains the Women's Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, I mean, my feeling on Sol. It's just her being pushed too hard down my throat. I don't like it. So,
I think you might be on a boat with very few people.
I probably am. But it was one of those. I mean, you got someone like Roxanne Perez. Yeah, you gave her a tag, but she deserves a single title. I am just waiting for Roxanne Perez to really shine, the prodigy to come back out.
I can't remember if they mentioned it this past Monday or last past Monday, but at least in the last few weeks, they had made mention, and this is true, that Raquel Rodriguez hasn't held any kind of championship for 5 years now.
Right.
I can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
Time flies.
Yeah, that it's 5 years since she lost the NXT championship.
It's pretty wild. It's pretty doggone wild. Then also we had a tag team match between Chad Gable and Dragon Lee taking on Ethan Page and Rusev. And before we get into that tag match, do you think now that Maxine Dupree has done what she's done, Otis and Tozawa in the next coming very short time, like within the next couple of weeks, actually accepts the apology of Chad Gable?
Oh yeah,
You think Chad Gable pushes a little bit more?
They were going to accept the apology a couple weeks ago. It was Maxine Dupree who said, no, I'm not accepting the apology. So if Maxine Dupree is not around, I can see Otis and Chad getting back together. Wouldn't shock me that they go after the tag champs.
Yeah.
Become 2-time champions.
You know, Ethan Page and Rusev, well, they're a great. I think they're a great tag team together. Yeah. I was a little surprised that they came out as the victors against both Chad Gable and Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's another team that they're really kind of putting together that I think could get. They kind of remind me a little bit of the Bar.
Yeah.
Two people that, you know, you got Rusev who's rough and tough, and then you got Ethan Page who can hold his own, but yet has that little bit more mental that Claudio had when he was with the Bar.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe it's Bar 2.0, but I kind of like that tag team, and I'd like to see them shine a little bit more and push farther and see what they can come up with.
You know, starting off Monday Night Raw, though, Sami Zayn showing up in his vehicle, coming into the arena, getting out of his car, getting, I guess you could say, confronted by Cody Rhodes, but really Cody Rhodes was only there to wish him luck in their match that they were scheduled to have later on in the evening. And, you know, as Sami Zayn is jawing back at him, man, he's got a chip on his shoulder, dude. But
he should.
Gunther coming in and blindsiding Cody Rhodes.
Right.
And even kicked him into the door
after
of Sammy's car.
Yeah, the door was open, and Cody was, I guess he was using the car to try to pull himself up, and actually had his head between the car door and the frame, and Gunther just put one heck of a kick.
And the blood was squirting.
Yeah.
It was going all over the place. So from that point, we weren't sure what was going to happen. If it was going to be Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn. You know, even when they were starting the segment where Cody Rhodes was in the training office with Adam Pearce and the doctor or trainer that was in there with him, I kind of figured, well, he's going to push through this and he's going to refuse not to give up this shot,
right,
and they'll still have this match. But then surprisingly, the medical doctor says, I'm sorry, but I can't medically clear you until you go and get x-rays done.
Yep.
What I want to know, and they didn't really elaborate on this, is what did the x-ray shows that caused Cody Rhodes to be not medically cleared?
Yeah. Yeah, so it ended up being not medically cleared, and, you know, what was it? Nancy, I can't think of her name, but she was telling Sammy, hey, guess what? He's not here.
But then she said, and he thought at that point, hey, I've got a night off.
I
got a night off here.
I'm retaining the championship.
But she came also back in and said, look, I've been told, don't know who yet, but you are still going to have a championship match tonight. And he was livid.
Right. Yeah, because you train and get ready for one person, and then now all of a sudden they got taken out. Yeah, you should have the night off. And you're the heavyweight champion. You should be able to dictate what's going to happen. But that didn't happen.
Well.
And where were they at?
Also, that evening, on Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins had came out and doing a little promo for his upcoming match up against Roman Reigns at SummerSlam when he was interrupted by L.A. Knight. Yeah. What'd you think of that one?
Oh, I mean, I'm a big LA Knight person, and it was a good conversation back and forth. You know, I hope Seth does win. And
LA Knight had some very, very valid points.
Oh, a lot of valid points. And it was a fun conversation. It was a good good promo back and forth, and I'm ready to see Seth Rollins. The only thing I was surprised, LA Knight did not bring up the fact that he feigned an injury the last time they were in.
And you made mention of that in the Discord as well, and
That would have been the nail in the coffin, if you ask me, for Seth Rollins to, if he wins, to give him a first person to get a title shot would be LA Knight.
I can't disagree with it. I really can't disagree with that. Maybe it should be LA Knight that gets the first shot at Seth Rollins if Seth Rollins is able to dethrone Roman Reigns.
Right.
We'll see. Maybe LA Knight should be next in line to go up against Roman Reigns as well.
I would agree with that.
After they had the little to-do and Seth Rollins left, Jimmy Uso comes in behind LA Knight, and they have been, I don't know if really friends is the right word to say about them, but they were at least cordial back and forth between each other over these last several months.
Yeah.
But LA Knight kept putting the family business in his name, coming out of his mouth, and he kept being told, stop talking, or what, I can't say it on the radio, but Brock Lesnar once said not too long ago, talk S, get hit.
Get hit.
Hey, that's exactly what's happened to LA Knight.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps talking about the bloodline, and if he continues to talk about the bloodline, each time they're going to come out and attack him. So he either needs to get some friends or get some eyes in the back of his head for that one.
Hey, real quick here, got a little something in the Facebook chat room I want to read off here before we continue on about Monday Night Raw. From Jimmy Harris Sr. Independent St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame Class of 2026 induction ceremony will be next Sunday on July the 19th. We had Luke Roberts and Jim, and
there was a whole crowd.
Yeah, a whole crew in here. It was an awesome show. But it'll be at Andre's Banquet Center, 4254 Telegraph Road in St. Louis, Missouri. The doors will open up at 12:30. The event will start at 1 o'clock. Tickets are $30 each in advance, $35 at the door, and you can get your advance tickets and info at www.istlwhof.com.
Yep.
So there you go. There you go. So back to, you know what? Actually, we're going to hold off. We're going to hold off talking about the main event and everything that happened at the end of Monday Night Raw, because we are up against the second break here on Uncensored Wrestling Talk. So we're going to go ahead and take that. But when we do come back, we're going to talk about everything that happened at the end of Monday Night Raw right after this.
King Scott here, and I'm with John Lang, owner of Mountaintop Motor Company. John, tell us about the latest sales you guys have going on. King, we don't have one. What? You're not on the dealership. Do you have to have some kind of sale going on? Nope, no quote unquote sale going on at our place. You know why? Why? Because usually there's sales promotion at other dealerships. Most of the time they're robbing Peter to pay Paul somewhere, and we don't play those games in Mountain. We're not about sales, we're about true savings. I like that. No sales, just savings. You're saying come in, check out the inventory, and you guys will prove that your pricing is always super competitive. Correct. We've got so much great inventory in the lot right now. Many vehicles starting at $15,000 or lower, and with our great prices, we're confident we can get you set up the right way.
Confident.
Great pricing, great inventory, great people to work with, and there's a reason Mountaintop Motor Company has over 1,000 five-star reviews. Please don't settle for just any dealership. Aim higher and go visit the good guys in Troy. MountaintopMotors.com, Facebook, and Instagram.
When Donald Trump needs conservative votes to help pass his agenda for Missouri, Representative Tricia Burns never answers the call. Tricia Burns has missed 370 votes. Burns is bucking President Trump's priorities. Burns did not vote to stop DEI initiatives, prevent China from owning Missouri land, defund Planned Parenthood, and Burns did not vote to ban boys from girls' sports. Tricia Burns not showing up for Missouri and President Trump. Instead, Trisha Burns spends her time pulling pranks on the suicide prevention hotline. Yes, you heard that right. Trisha Burns lied to the police and staged a fake suicide emergency. She sent a series of messages to the hotline and said she, quote, had a gun to her head, end quote. When she got caught, she said there'd be no consequences because she's a politician. By August 4th, vote to show Trisha Burns that there are consequences to being bad at your job. Cut the Bullpack paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidate committee.
Operating Engineers Local 513, proud to support
Cut
the Mizzou
Bullpack.
Tigers, St. Louis Blues, Kansas City Chiefs, and local high school sports on News Radio KYRO. The Local 513 training program at Highway 61 and F is now accepting apprenticeship applications to build your future. Motor grader, backhoe, crane operation, and maintenance programs earn college credits and employment as an operator. Visit the Local 513 training program website at IUOE513.com and start building your future today.
He did win.
Lumber Company
Cameron
has the
Carver
really
beat
big
King
tools
Cliff.
you need to get the job done right. Not only in the
Right.
retail
Correct.
store, but in the rental
And
area
Nico
too.
Vance faced-
Bobcats, excavators, dingoes, and
Who
lift
cares?
equipment.
Not really.
Yeah, he did win.
You know?
Scissor lifts and more. Need something
Anymore
really
on
small?
NXT, who
Old
cares?
World Lumber Company rents
Yeah.
saws, log splitters,
Except for the main
jackhammers,
spots.
water pumps, and
Right.
dump trailers. Just about anything
I
you
hate saying
need
it that way.
delivered to your job site.
I mean,
Take a look
yeah,
online at omlumber.com.
The Wrecking Crew. What do you guys do here?
We recycle. Our typical business is picking up stuff that nobody else can
what
get.
he's doing? May
Not
have a lot
really.
of money laying in their property
Not
and they
really.
just don't realize it.
They do. A
I,
lot of money
I hated
sometimes,
it
and not where
when
you
they
think
threw
we
him
do.
into
Where you
the
look
title
at
Troy
picture
Winfield
right
Van
away.
Days there. We do
I
boxes,
don't like
trailers,
that.
stuff on site. We do
Yeah,
insurance
you gotta
work,
build it up
farmers, if
first.
you have a
You
burnt
don't
building or
deserve to
damaged
get right
building or
into it
grain
just because of where you're
damage,
coming from,
How
no
to
matter
get
who
rid
you
of
are.
Call me
You gotta
personally
build
or
it
the
up
office.
first.
The Wrecking Crew.
Started like
636-462-1727.
Operating
Somebody
Engineers
that
Local
big,
513,
doing a
proud to
moonsault.
support the Mizzou Tigers, St. Louis Blues,
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs, and local high school sports on News Radio KYRO. The Local 513 training program at Highway 61 and F is now accepting apprenticeship applications to build your future. Motor grader, backhoe, crane operation, and maintenance programs earn college credits and employment as an operator. Visit the Local 513 training program website at IUOE513.com and start building your future today.
People's Bank and Trust is helping you get a grip on your finances with our new mobile banking service. You can now manage your accounts,
We've got
check
about
balances,
11 and a half
transfer
minutes
funds,
before the
and
top
pay
of
bills
the hour.
all from the palm of your hand.
Already.
Visit us online at pbtc.net
The time is
for more
going
information
by
and to start
quickly.
using mobile banking. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
One more minute.
Welcome to MegaNet. For slow internet, press 1. For a different customer service, press 2. For confusing pricing, press 3. For extremely long wait times, stay on the line. For 87th in line, 85th in line, 87th in
You
line.
know, Jimmy Harris Sr., Jimmy Harris
Where
Sr.
there's frustration,
Just a
now
suggestion
there's
for
satisfaction.
future.
Hello, this is Helen at Gateway
Should
Fiber.
put that
How may I help
Wrestling
you?
Hall of
Is it
Fame
time
on
to
stream.
refresh your internet provider?
Maybe have people watch it for like $10 a hit or something.
Finley
like
Shoe
that.
Store is a local family and veteran-owned
It's an idea.
tradition in historic downtown Troy, Missouri. Dedicated to serving the local community and providing great customer service. Their brands include Red Wing, Irish Setter, Works, Birkenstock, Brooks, Merrill, New Balance, Skechers, Thorogood, as well as Superfleet insoles. State-of-the-art 3D foot scanner to ensure you get just the right insoles for you. Finley Shoe Store providing men's and women's quality footwear in Lincoln County area since 1947. Finley Shoes, 636-528-8247.
Mics are going live. Welcome back. Hour number 1 of Uncensored Wrestling Talk, live from the Gateway Fiber studio of News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. Of course, also we are on our streams, the Facebook page and the YouTube channel. All you gotta do is type it in, Uncensored Wrestling Talk. It'll take you right there, and you can join us in the interactive chat rooms for both of those. Let us know what your comments and your questions are in regards to what we are talking about this morning. And right now, we need to jump to the main event of Monday Night Raw. And, you know, we had found out that Cody Rhodes was not medically cleared.
Correct.
No word on that. Why he wasn't medically cleared to compete. But we also knew at the same time throughout the night, hadn't been shown yet, but you knew, and because it was in Chicago
of all places,
that at some point CM Punk was going to make an appearance.
Yeah, because, even they had, prior to this all going down, CM Punk was supposed to at least address the Raw crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So you knew that he was going to be in the building.
See, my thought was, before this whole CM Punk getting attacked by Gunther thing, was I thought they would be Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn at Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Rhodes coming out the victor, reclaiming the championship. And then all of a sudden, while Cody Rhodes' music is going, the music stops and it starts up with In Living Color's music.
Right.
And CM Punk comes out.
Right.
To the Cult of Personality.
Yeah.
And comes down to the ring, jumps in there and says, you remember the last time we talked about how, title situations falling in my lap? Well, here's another one. Right. I'm challenging you to the undisputed WWE Championship. And boom, there's one of our main events for SummerSlam, whether it be night 1 or night 2. But that is not the way that it went down.
Nope.
Again, Cody Rhodes being not medically cleared. So it was actually CM Punk that became the challenger for Sami Zayn. And who did not think that CM Punk was going to come out of that one the victor?
I don't think anybody in the world thought Sami Zayn was going to defeat CM Punk in Chicago.
And before we move on, do you think that in any kind of way that it was an injustice to Sami Zayn, mere fact that he had just won the belt 9 days before, he's trying to build this I'm finally a champion thing, the whole 9 yards?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a travesty what they did with it. Just to go, you got to defend yourself on Monday when you are the technically the SmackDown champion, you have to defend it on Raw because it's in Chicago. And then with all the shenanigans, no, Sami Zayn did not get a fair shake. And he has the absolute right to be upset about this.
Most of the time, when it comes to your main championships, like your world titles, for no matter what organization it is, I don't really care too much for the hot potato situation. One week, couple of weeks, one person has it, then drops it to somebody else, and it's back and forth between them two, or a third person jumps into the fray, and it's being passed around like a piece of candy, right? But I don't know. In this situation, I'm still on the fence on how I feel about this. But so Cody Rhodes going into that triple threat in Saudi Arabia against Sami Zayn and Gunther. Sami comes out the victor in that one. And then I figured CM Punk was going to come in and win the belt from Cody at SummerSlam, and then Gunther getting involved again and having a match with CM Punk and winning the belt from him, and it would be just this back and forth between the four of them for quite some time.
Right.
I don't know if that's the plan. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. But at this point, at this moment, I don't want to see that happen. What do you think?
Well, the thing about it is, to me, you've got CM Punk that will definitely, he's a champion, and he deserves to be in a top role. You got Cody, absolutely, quarterback, QB, however you want a golden child, however you want to put him, he deserves to be. Gunther, probably the best mat wrestler of the three, should be in there. He has done well to be a top person. Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn kind of got thrusted in.
He got thrusted in. Therefore, you give him the belt, but you have to give him some time with it too, to make him believable that he should be in these 4 people. Is he talented enough to be in the 4 people? Absolutely.
Absolutely, he is.
There is no doubt about it. He is.
Hey, I've said it a few times on this show that I believe in his tenure in WWE, which is around about 10 years now, roughly, he should have been already a multi-time World Heavyweight Champion. It just, the cards had not filled out that way.
And you give it to him and then immediately take it away just to make him become more whiny. That's the problem. He started whining before, hanging out with Gargano, just kind of whining about the whole situation.
Only him talking.
Right, him only talking, because Johnny's a man of few words right now.
He's all planked out.
It's just one of those things where you go, okay, let's give some time and investment into it and go, yeah, he deserves to be a constant person in this role.
You know, I had said this before he had won the championship in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions. But I felt like somehow, some way, he was going to be in the title picture come WrestleMania next year, with it being in Saudi Arabia.
Correct.
So I guess now, with him being a former world champion, and granted, it's gonna get a little old, and it's gonna get very old. Let's be true about it. It's gonna get quite old by the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
By the end of this year, if he's still in the picture, pushing the envelope, doing this, doing that. But I really still think that come Royal Rumble time, he is actually going to win the Royal Rumble and then go on to WrestleMania to face whichever champion he wants. And I think it'll probably be, that undisputed championship, the one that he's already won and lost, and probably win it again in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those foreshadowing. Do you go, well, Punk won it in his hometown. Sammy's the adopted son in Saudi Arabia. He's like the number one.
The thing is, though, Superfan, the end of the year, and I've seen a little bit of talk about this, about how they can really raise his character with however they do it between now and the end of the year, end of January, whenever Royal Rumble's going to be. But does his character really need to be improved upon?
No.
I mean, that's the main question.
Right.
What do you got to improve upon? What do you got to build? He's already there.
Right.
If you want to turn him heel, I mean, we've seen he can both be a heel and he can be a good guy.
Right.
And if you want to have him ride in the fence the entire time, that's fine too. But there's no evolvement there.
Right.
There's just not going to be.
That's going to stick him in a position where people aren't going to really believe. They're not going to go on the ride or die with Sami Zayn. So it's one of those, again, yes, he got the championship. Now you can say he's a world champion. But 9 days, I don't like it.
Tommy Rich style.
Yeah.
I guess you could say. But, I mean, we've seen a lot of other champions win the belt, lose the belt very, very short amount of time. So, but yeah, I don't like it either. But with that being said, we're at the end of our first hour. Stick around. In about 6 minutes, we will be back with hour number 2 of Uncensored Wrestling Talk.
Gateway Fiber Studios, online at gatewayfiber.com. News Radio 105.3, 1280 KYRO Troy. It's 11 o'clock in the Heartland.
News on Paul Stevens, South Carolina. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham passing away last night at the age of 71. Reaction from President Trump.
He was such an advocate. He was, if he wanted to get something, and he had a unique ability. He was able to deal with Democrats and Republicans. If I had a problem, a real problem, I wouldn't often ask. But if I had a problem with a Democrat, he could work it out.
President on the phone with NBC's Meet the Press. More attacks, meantime, between the U.S. and Iran, battling to control the Strait of Hormuz.
U.S. Central Command says about 140 military targets were hit, including
Good morning,
missile
Stephen
and drone
Ness.
launch
Thank you for
sites.
joining us,
Iran
brother.
retaliated
Appreciate
with
it.
strikes targeting Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, and Oman, while warning the strategic waterway will remain closed.
And that's Fox's Matt Murphy. America is listening to Fox News.
Of all the wireless companies in America, only one has 5 stars in every category from Consumer Reports, and that company is Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. Plus, no service contracts and no cancellation fees. Just phenomenal U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
Here's the tale of the daily Medfield. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be, at GoodRx, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The NASDAQ and the S&P 500 end the week slightly higher, both up between 1% and 2%. Facebook parent company Meta was the week's big winner, rising 6%. Bank of America analysts said the company's AI infrastructure costs were lower than expected. The Wall Street Journal says Apple has sued OpenAI, saying the company stole Apple trade secrets. According to the suit, 2 OpenAI employees who used to work for Apple were involved. And a top economist warns that inflationary pressures are here for a while, even though gas prices are falling. Conference Board Chief Economist Dana Peterson says global trade and geopolitical problems are pushing prices higher. And that's your Fox Business Report. I'm Roger Stern, invested in you.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
When Donald Trump needs conservative votes to help pass his agenda for Missouri, Representative Tricia Burns never answers the call. Tricia Burns has missed 370 votes. Burns is bucking President Trump's priorities. Burns did not vote to stop DEI initiatives, prevent China from owning Missouri land, defund Planned Parenthood, and Burns did not vote to ban boys from girls' sports. Tricia Burns not showing up for Missouri and President Trump. Instead, Tricia Burns spends her time pulling pranks on the suicide prevention hotline. Yes, you heard that right. Tricia Burns lied to the police and staged a fake suicide emergency. She sent a series of messages to the hotline and said she, quote, had a gun to her head, end quote. When she got caught, she said there'd be no consequences because she's a politician. By August 4th, vote to show Tricia Burns that there are consequences to being bad at your job. Cut the Bull PAC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidate committee.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Isaac Lowenkron.
In the World Cup quarterfinals on Saturday night, Argentina scored 2 goals in extra time for a 3-1 triumph over Switzerland. Earlier Saturday, England defeated Norway in extra time 2-1. Both of England's goals tallied by Jude Bellingham. So it'll be Argentina against England in the semifinal round on Wednesday. Up first on Tuesday, the other semifinal between France and Spain from Arlington, Texas. The men's singles final at Wimbledon getting underway just moments from now as top seed and defending champion Jannik Sinner faces 2-seed Alexander Zverev. And in Major League Baseball Saturday night, Arizona's James McCann had 2 home runs and 4 RBI in a 9-2 triumph over the Dodgers in Los Angeles.
From the Meyer Auction and Real Estate Weather Center, here's your updated KYRO forecast. Sunshine expected this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 86. Clear skies again tonight, lows dip down to about 65. Sunny skies tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 87. Currently, it's 82 degrees. That's the latest from News Radio KYRO. I'm meteorologist Jennifer.
And here we go,
Wojcicki.
hour number 2.
Let's go.
And the mics are going live. Well, welcome back in. Hour number 2 now officially underway. Uncensored Wrestling Talk. We are live from the Gateway Fiber studio of News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. Of course, we are also streaming on our pages and our channels, Facebook page, YouTube channel, Uncensored Wrestling Talk. Get in there. Interactive chat right there for you. You can converse with us as the show is going on and with everybody else that's in the chat rooms as well.
Exactly.
And, hey, we'll read your comments and your questions. You know, also real quick weather-wise, it is 82 outside. It also feels like it's 93. I got a feeling that before the end of the day is over with, Superfan, it's going to feel
get
like
hot.
it's in the triple digits.
Yep, I have a feeling.
Not fun. Not fun at all. Hey, real quick. NXT from Tuesday night. Kendall Gray going up against Natty with the NXT Women's Championship on the line. And when I heard that match was going to happen, I was like, Kendall Gray just won this championship.
Yeah.
There's no way that she's going to lose it in her very first defense. It just doesn't happen that way anymore with it when it comes to those titles. And I feel, even though I don't really care too much for this new Natty character, the way that they're portraying it.
Right.
I mean, I love Natty, don't get me wrong. I love Natty's character, but I mean, it just doesn't do anything for me.
And it doesn't sit right because here you have Natty, who should be on the main roster, should be involved in the World Championship
And
picture.
she's another one that should be a multi-time
Right.
world champion.
And you've pushed her down to NXT. Whether by choice or not, or creativity, you pushed her down to NXT of all places. Now, the Kendall Gray and Natty match, awesome match.
It was an awesome
It was a
match.
great match, great telling, you know. But yeah, you knew Kendall Gray was going to figure out a way to come out as victor.
I mean, even when they had Natty down in AAA there for a while, I thought, okay, well, maybe here's an opportunity here for her to capture that Reina de Reinas championship, the women's championship, basically, for AAA.
Right.
They didn't even do that.
Right.
It didn't even happen with that one either. I feel bad for Natty. I really do.
I mean, if this is the role she wants and she accepts it, and okay, but I just feel Natty deserves more. And they started to do this on the main roster with this kind of Natty attitude, and then it just now it's Natty Light down at NXT.
And she's got a little group with her now.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, the character side of things, I understand it. I get it. I don't have a real true problem with it. But when you're doing it like they're doing it right now,
right?
How can she get ahead in this?
You're putting a future Hall of Famer into a secondary role and really doing nothing with her.
I mean, this is
yes,
the first
NXT
time.
needs something to, because Lord knows that most of their superstars have been pulled up to the main roster, and they don't have much there at NXT.
I can't call it a second role. A secondary role.
You don't think it's a secondary
I
role?
don't. Because how many times has she had an NXT championship match? This is the only one, and how long?
Yeah. I mean, she was always seemed like Intercontinental, but never the World Championship. But again,
they didn't even give her a shot at the AAA championship.
Right. You've done her wrong. Done dirty wrong.
So I can understand the character change in her.
Yeah.
I can get it. I can get behind that. But doggone it, she deserves.
Mm-hmm.
She, if anybody, she deserves a championship.
Yeah. Now, will they run it back in a few months? Hopefully. Maybe then they'll wise up and say, okay, we got to have even though I love Kendall Gray and she's a great talent, but she's still young, she still needs to learn.
Yeah. Layla Diggs, Lizzie Rain, Thea Hale, and Izzy Dame in a fatal four-way match for the #1 contendership to the NXT Women's North American Championship. You know, I almost feel like maybe Natty should have been in that and gotten a win on that.
Could have been. But it was funny, you brought up Lizzie Rain, so she was coming out, I'm in there, I'm doing this, and she's coming down. My wife walks in and goes, what the heck are you doing?
What? Oh, it was probably worse than that.
I cleaned it up.
And you know what? I can't blame her one little bit.
I was giving
what in the heck?
I like Lizzie Rain. You know,
it sounds like it. It sounds like it.
I was actually expecting Lizzie Rain to pull out the victory to go against for the North American Championship against Zarya, but it didn't work out that way.
How are you liking Zarya as the Women's North American Championship? Is it working for you?
Yes and no. Yes, I think they needed to give her a championship to see how she reacts with it. Do I think she's probably built more and would stand more in the NXT Championship, Women's Championship title reign? I think so.
Interesting. And if one fatal four-way wasn't enough, and Layla Diggs earning that future title opportunity by defeating the other three, by the way. If one wasn't enough, we had to have two. #1 contenders to the NXT Tag Team Championships. See, this is where I start to have some issues. You already had one fatal four-way. You don't need a second one. You just don't.
No.
You don't.
Bad booking.
But Sean Legacy and Dorian Van Dux taking on Birthright, Dark State, and OTM in that #1 contendership. And I had a feeling that Legacy and Van Dukes was going to come out as the victors in that one. And sure enough, it was them. And you know, I hate to say this, I really do. And I do hate it when it becomes too predictable.
Right.
I mean, granted, my prediction record is pretty doggone good. But
it's above average. I'll give you that.
Oh, you can just shut up right now, all right? Here, your mic is off.
Do I have to talk louder then?
Yeah. But it was just predictable.
Yeah.
And Legacy and Van Dux, however you want to pronounce his name, you know, they come out as the victors in this one.
Right. I mean, and the thing about it is, you got a team like OTM that has a good backstory.
And that's who I was hoping was going to win.
Right. You want to see them do something more with them to
or
really
maybe even Birthright.
Yeah, Birthright even. But yeah, to give it to Legacy and Dorian, I don't know. You know, again, it's like they threw the balls in the hand and said, oh, well, okay, you're going to win.
Then, of course, there's another tag team, Hank and Tank. Tank Ledger and Hank. I can't remember his last name for the life of me now. But, you know, they had that 4th of July party last week. And inadvertently, Keanu Carver caused Tank Ledger's partner to go off the edge of the platform, down through a table and all that kind of sort of thing. So we had to have a singles match between Tank Ledger and Keanu Carver. And I'm not saying it wasn't a good match, because I think it was a good hard-hitting match. But again, predictability, you knew going into this one that Keanu Carver was going to carve up the competition in that one. And really, that's what he did.
Yeah, I mean, and then you got Keanu Carver, who's just been demolishing and running through people. Who's going to stop him? I don't think there really is anybody on the NXT roster that could really stand up to the power and strength of Keanu.
The young man that won the Mr. NXT, Shiloh Hill. That's who it was. You know, Nico Vance took on Shiloh Hill on NXT. And that's another one that I did not like the ending of, because you just had him come out on top in that Mr. NXT competition.
Correct.
And then the runner-up, basically, I cannot remember his name for the life of me. I'm brain farting here, so I apologize to everybody out there. But still, you know, you have him go through a little feud with him because his opponent had stolen the sash.
Stolen the sash.
NXT. He gets that match. He wins that match. He gets his sash back, right? And then you put him in a match with Nico Vance just to lose.
Right. Well, he lost because he lost his tooth too, because the rivalry he had from the British guy who stole his tooth, and he was more worried about his tooth than winning the match. Great writing.
It's got to be that AI stuff, right?
Great writing. Yeah, I don't know.
Man, I'm over it. And I'm over NXT right now.
Yeah.
That's all that happened on NXT. Let's go ahead and jump into AEW Dynamite results from Wednesday night. A lot of stuff going on that one. And, you know, I'm going to say it. I think there's a lot of people that will agree with me in this one. But AEW Dynamite being the show of the week.
Absolutely.
Not just match of the week on there, but the entire show of the week. Now, I'm not saying that CM Punk and Sami Zayn match wasn't good, because it was very, very good. I'm not saying that, you know, the Sol Ruca and Raquel Rodriguez match wasn't good, because I thought it was good.
It was decent.
Even the Natty match from NXT was really, really good.
Yeah.
But as far as match of the week, all of them from AEW, hands down,
absolutely,
I feel was better than anything going on the entire week of professional wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, there's times that
except for WOW, of course.
But. You know, there's times you're watching WWE and their product, and you're just counting the minutes to go by just to get over and see what they did.
Yeah.
When Dynamite and Bash at the Beach came on this week, I was disappointed that it ended.
Beach Blast.
I was disappointed that it was done. It was a great show. It was a fast 2.5 hours of non-stop action and intrigue that if you haven't watched it, go back and watch that episode.
They had basically 7 matches with several different segments as well.
Correct.
Got it done in 2 hours and 17 minutes and some change, to be exact, right? Here's my problem with this when it comes to AEW. On pay-per-view nights, the last pay-per-view that they just did, it went from 6 o'clock Central, 6 p.m. Central, our time, until almost midnight. And they had about 3 more matches than what was on AEW Dynamite.
Right.
They proved to me on Dynamite that, you know, you can have a ton of matches and even some backstage stuff and still get it done in a quote-unquote reasonable amount of time to where by match number 7 of 11 you're not wrestling fatigued.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's really because during PLEs with AEW, they give them 40 minutes a match, where on TV, they're still running right about 10 to 15 minute matches.
Hey, real quick from the Facebook chat room, we've got the astonishing one, Austin Mulitalo, joining in on that one, saying, "What's up, fellas?" I'm not sure who he's talking about. He says, "Sign me, I'll stop him." Not sure. You'll have to let us know who you were talking about. But Stephen Ness also saying it was like a mini pay-per-view, and it really was. AEW Wednesday Night's Dynamite was like a mini pay-per-view.
Austin was saying that he's going to go stop Keanu Carver for me.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You know, I don't know.
And if anybody could, the astonishing one, the greatest GOAT, will do it.
I don't know if he really wants this put out on the airwaves. However, he did put this out on the Facebook airwaves, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. But congratulations to the astonishing one, Austin Mulitalo, for his life is about to change forever.
Yep.
He's about to become, in about 9 months, roughly, don't know exactly how far along, but he's going to become a daddy.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations.
Congratulations, buddy.
Astonishing one, Austin Mulitalo. What a year he's having.
Oh.
Because, you know, and I know we're getting away from AEW Dynamite, and I promise we'll come back to it. But what a year that he's been having. You know, getting the win over
Carson Drake.
Carson Drake. I'm brain farting all over the place today. Carson Drake down at Fort Leonard Wood when we had that massive show.
Right. Fort Leonard Wood champion.
Exactly. Tag teaming with Trevor Murdoch to take on the manager of champions in the NWA, Aaron Stevens, and Carson Drake, and coming out the victor in that one. The Door to Destiny Rumble that occurred in June at the Race Wrestling Arena, and coming out the victor in that one.
Absolutely.
To secure a shot against the NWA World League Heavyweight Champion, regardless of who it is. But at the moment, it is the Grand Regent Camaro Jackson. But he has earned that shot coming up in November at WLW 27, the 27th year anniversary show. Wow.
Oh,
wow.
I mean, he's on a hot streak. He's on a roll. And, you know, I'm glued to the TV and the ring, and anytime I see him.
He says January the 26th. So apparently that is going to be the due date. That is awesome. That is very, very awesome. And before much longer, we've got to get the astonishing one back here in the studio and pick his brain about everything professional wrestling and everything going on the outside as well. All right, let's get back over to AEW Dynamite here. A lot of awesome matches, as we were saying. The AEW International Championship on the line. You know, Kyle Fletcher taking on the champion, Konosuke Takeshita. And, you know, I kind of figured that there was going to be all kinds of shenanigans going on in this one. I kind of figured that some of the members of the Don Callis family was going to get involved. I kind of figured that Andrade El Idolo was going to get involved. I didn't really foresee Darby Allin really getting involved, but he did. To include an exploding skateboard that ambushed the Don Callis family. And it was a wild match, my friend. It was a very, very wild match.
Going into that, I was one, shocked at the outcome, but two, the match itself between these two guys. Let's run it back again and again. I could see 2 or 3 matches between these two guys, and they keep raising the bar up. They were talking about, because it was actually outside, the humidity was very high that night. So I'm sure it was very taxing. I mean, there was a couple water breaks it seemed like they needed to take.
Yeah.
But those two guys, and whenever he dropped him on his head on the turnbuckle, I cringed.
You knew it was over too, right then and
Right.
there. Man, that is a devastating brain buster on the turnbuckle.
Right.
Because that's basically what
That's
that
what it
is.
was,
A
you know.
brain buster on the turnbuckle. You get hit by that, no matter who you are. I gotta think that it's lights out.
Yeah, it's a 1, 2, 3 at that point.
And in that case, it was. And the new international champion, Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah. I mean, wow. Does Kyle deserve to be a champion?
Absolutely.
But
yeah, I was a little, I'll be honest, I was a little surprised,
I was surprised
they went that route, because I kind of, well, maybe not, but I mean, I'm trying to think which would have been better, but now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, it kind of does make sense that he grabs that title from Takeshita, and there's still that inner, I guess you could say inner feud, inner challenging moments.
Right.
We'll call it that. Challenging moments between the TNT champion, Kevin Knight, and now Kyle Fletcher.
Right.
I kind of see a match going on between them two before too much longer.
Even after the congratulation, whenever they had Kyle Fletcher, who comes out?
It was Kevin
Knight, and basically takes the mic and says, "I'm waiting for my championship match."
This is true. Kind of deflated
the whole
thing for Kyle Fletcher a little bit, and Kyle Fletcher didn't look none too pleased about it. And to be quite honest, I can't blame the man.
Right.
I can't blame him.
Were you okay with Mick Foley coming out right afterwards, or does that kind of feel like? Do you agree with Don Callis that Mick Foley just came out and stole the show, or took the spotlight?
It didn't really make any sense to me.
I didn't think it did either.
It just, no matter who it is, whether it's WWE or AEW or New Japan or anybody for that matter, even us, make it make sense, right? And that's my biggest thing. Make it make sense. And it didn't really make sense. What was the point? I'm still scratching my head trying to figure it out. What was the point of Mick Foley coming out? What was his point?
I don't think there was, except to show off his shoes. I don't know. It was one of the ill-conceived moments of the night that you kind of go, okay, all right, where are you going with? And just a little bit more just verbal spats between Mick Foley and Don Callis. That's what it ended. And then Mick Foley just left the ring.
Yeah, just left.
Yeah.
There was no... There was nothing.
Right.
There was nothing to it.
There was no bang bang back at him or anything.
I think it was the music of Kevin Knight being played.
Right.
When he started coming out, when Mick Foley had gotten on the outside on the ring apron in the corner there.
Right.
But then by the time Kevin Knight had gotten down to the ring and gotten into the ring,
It was
gone.
Yeah. It was gone.
There was no goodbye. There was no nothing. It was just gone.
Out the door.
Well, with that being said, we will continue talking about AEW Dynamite, Beach Blast, the mini pay-per-view that they held. But we have got to take our first break. We are way past it of this second hour. We're going to go ahead and take it. It is only 59 seconds long, and we're going to do it right now.
For confusing pricing, press 3. For extremely long wait times, stay on the line. For 87th in line, 85th in line, 87th in line, 85th in line, 85th in line.
Where there was frustration, now there's satisfaction.
Hello, this is Helen at Gateway Fiber. How may I help you?
Isn't it time you refreshed your internet provider? For more information, visit gatewayfiber.com.
Finley Shoe Store is a local family and veteran-owned tradition in historic downtown Troy, Missouri, dedicated to serving the local community and providing great customer service. Their brands include Red Wing, Irish Setter, Works, Birkenstock, Brooks, Merrill, New Balance, Skechers, Thorogood, as well as Superfleet insoles, state-of-the-art 3D foot scanner to ensure you get just the right insoles for you. Finley Shoe Store providing men's and women's quality footwear in Lincoln County area since 1947. Finley Shoes, 636-528-8247.
And the lights are going live. There we go.
There we go.
Technical difficulties, but we got through it. Hey, we are back. Uncensored Wrestling Talk, hour number 2. We are live, coming to you straight from the Gateway Fiber studio of News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. Of course, also on our streams, the Facebook page, the YouTube channel. Type in Uncensored Wrestling Talk. You'll be able to interact with us in those chat rooms, just like everybody else that's been doing that this morning. And, we've got an interesting question in the Facebook chat from Stephen Ness, and he says, didn't Sting's son debut before the show started? I don't know about you, but I hadn't seen anything about Sting's son, but I do know that within the last couple of months, both sons have debuted on the independent scene. So that would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to have to dig a little bit deeper to see if, if that was a dark match that
and
obviously
it could very well have been.
It
could very well have been. I kind of got that feeling. I kind of hope I'm wrong. But I kind of get that feeling that if one of Sting's sons joins up with AEW, or even both of them for that matter, they're going to be put right back with Darby Allin.
Right.
And I don't know if I really want to see that.
To me, it's just like the Von Erich kids. They're right now in Ring of Honor. You should do the same thing with Sting's sons. They need to at least go through Ring of Honor and kind of get some seasoning, as they would say.
Well, actually, I would like to see them be out on the independent circuit for a while. At least a year and a half.
Right.
Build themselves up, get those ring reps first, and get themselves tuned up quite well. And then maybe coming in to AEW or Ring of Honor or going over to New Japan. I don't foresee them ever jumping to WWE, to be quite honest. But CMLL even maybe jumping into there a little bit. But I mean, I would rather them getting those tune-ups, those ring reps first before seeing them in AEW.
No, absolutely. I mean, we've said it several times that the house shows, the non-televised stuff has kind of gone away. Except, surprisingly enough, the Saturday night they had this big event in Minneapolis at the ballpark, which
Friday night,
which
And they had advertised that a couple of different times over the last month or so.
Right.
About that coming up on July the 10th.
But again, that gives you extra ring reps where you're not under the bright lights of national television.
Sure. Absolutely. Some other stuff going on Beach Blast on AEW's Dynamite. Women's Casino Gauntlet match. And making her surprise return in that gauntlet and pinning Julia Hart was none other than Willow Nightingale.
Yeah, it was disappointing when Willow had to forfeit the TBS championship. I was expecting Willow to be out longer than what she was.
Yeah.
I know that she was dealing with the shoulder.
She was only out for a month.
But yeah, only a month. And then you kind of go, well, why did she have to lose her
It could have been
championship?
one of those things where, the shoulder got popped out of joint and she needed time to rest that shoulder.
Right.
Could be one of those type of things, possibly. I'm not sure. But, getting that victory she has earned an AEW Women's World Championship opportunity against Thekla at the upcoming AEW Redemption pay-per-view, which will be at the end of this month. I believe it's on the 26th of July. And, you know, I'm going to go on a little bit of a limb here, and I want you to tell me what you think of this, and everybody in the chat rooms can chime in on this as well. Do you think that Willow Nightingale comes out with the win against Thekla to capture the AEW Women's Championship and goes on to All In to face Mercedes Moné, the winner of the Owen Hart Club, and that feud gets reignited again?
Basically, the answer is yes. If you look in the future, what type of draw? Yes, Thekla versus Mercedes Moné probably would have been a good match. But now if you put it on Willow Nightingale, now you've got an automatic built-in feud that can easily get reignited. You got the face of AEW and Willow Nightingale, the antagonist of the CEO. Now you've got stuff that people are going to buy and be more apt to watch.
But here's another question about it, though. Is it fair? Is it really fair? Because Thekla has been a heck of a champion. Like her or don't like her, she's been a heck of a champion. And she's been bulldozing basically through anybody and everybody that has gotten into her way.
Yeah.
You know, Chris Statlander, Starlight Kid, you know, Mina Shirakawa. The list goes on and on and on, right?
Right.
I'm wondering if it's an injustice to Thekla if Thekla loses to Willow Nightingale.
See, I don't think a loss to Willow Nightingale does anything to hurt Thekla because of the fact that she will be champion again.
But where do you go with Thekla after this?
At this point, now you can pull in a little more drama with the Stardom thing. If you really wanted to.
That was so hokey. That was just so doggone hokey. Somebody needs to teach the owner of Stardom how to sell something.
Right.
I mean, it was ridiculous.
But then you don't have to have, you can build in something, you're headed towards All In and All Out. You need to have these feuds, because this is where some of the feuds really get finished and started. With this one with Stardom, now if she doesn't have the belt, she has the ability to really create a storyline without the belt.
But see, you've also got something that happened on Collision, is that Divine Dominion attacks both Julia Hart and Sky Blue, which makes me wonder, okay, where does Thekla fit in on that too? Because Divine Dominion has kind of sided with Mercedes Moné.
Correct.
But then you throw in Willow Nightingale into the picture, and it's like, who do you pick here? Who's going to pick up the win? Because there's still that
there's a lot of stuff going on.
Almost too much stuff going on.
Yeah, but to me, the smart move again would be to put it on Willow. Then you have Mercedes Moné, Willow Nightingale, and All In. That's a bigger draw to me.
Say that one more time.
You put the belt on Willow Nightingale.
Okay.
And I think just because of the history and the backstory, it's a bigger draw to do Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné for the championship.
And was it not, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going to go back a couple of years here. Willow Nightingale ended up beating Mercedes Moné for the women's strong title from New Japan.
New Japan strong title.
And that was only because Mercedes Moné had got injured during that match.
Right.
Let's be fair. Because I think she actually broke her ankle in that match. But then she gets through that, she recovers, she becomes, 13 belt Moné?
Right.
But the TBS championship, I'm trying to remember who she beat for that TBS championship.
Willow Nightingale.
It was Willow Nightingale. So I'm thinking correctly here. I don't like it if she's the champion and Mercedes Moné beats her, I don't like it.
Well, it's not necessarily that she's going to beat her. If you're talking draw, I think it's a bigger marquee match to put those two versus Thekla versus Mercedes Moné. No matter what little secondary storyline they're creating with Divine Dominion and these CEO with them, and then you got the Sisters of Sin.
Well, here's another interesting situation. And I want to get what you think about this. Let's say Thekla does lose to Willow Nightingale at Redemption later on this month. The chances of Thekla throwing a major hissy fit and getting put in to that match at All In between Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné and it becoming a triple threat. I don't like it per se, but I'm asking, what do you think the chances are of that happening?
Well, the odds could be really high that happens, but I personally think that they would be doing an injustice to the possible feud between Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné. Leave it at that. I think, again, Thekla, you could do something with Stardom, have clean out Stardom or do something. You've already got that groundwork started.
See, that's one of my
And is it maybe the gal who lost her mask comes back?
Could Starlight Kid?
Starlight Kid.
Possibly. It's possible. But another thing that they could do, since that's going to be All In, and like 3 or 4 weeks later it'll be All Out, they could have Thekla either in a rematch against Willow Nightingale or going up against Mercedes Moné at All Out.
Right.
So that's also another possibility.
Possible.
I just don't see, outside of those three, anybody else really jumping in to the women's world title picture at the moment. Not at the moment.
Right. To me, there's only one other person that should be considered in that title picture, and that's Athena. But we know how it's kind of going with her.
There's a big argument for that. I think. She is the, and a lot of people don't realize this. She is the longest reigning champion of any organization, of any federation.
The forever champion.
Of any wrestling company right now going. I don't know what she's up to right now. I want to say it's like a little over 900 days.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Maybe getting close to that 1,000-day mark. I mean, she's already the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion.
Correct.
Or as they like to say, the Forever Champion. Is she ever going to lose that belt? I don't know.
I don't know.
But then again, she could lose it to Maya World.
Right.
And then maybe she jumps into the AEW Women's Championship picture from there.
Right.
After she loses that title. It's going to be interesting. But with that being said, we have got to take our very last break here on Uncensored Wrestling Talk. We'll go ahead and take it, and with the time left that we have on the radio side of things, we'll keep talking about AEW's mini pay-per-view, as one of our listeners on the Facebook called it, Stephen Ness, AEW Dynamite's Beach Blast, and we'll do that right after this.
King Scott here, and I'm with John Lang, owner of Mountaintop Motor Company. John, tell us about the latest sales you guys have going on.
King, we don't have one.
What? You're an auto dealership. You have to have some kind of sale going on.
No quote, unquote sale going on at our place. And you know why?
Why?
Because usually those sales promotions at other dealerships, they're BS, man. Most of the time they're robbing Peter to pay Paul somewhere, and we don't play those games at Mountaintop. We're not about sales, we're about true savings.
I like that. No sales, just savings. You're saying come in, check out the inventory, and you guys will prove that your pricing is always super competitive.
Correct. We've got so much great inventory in the lot right now. Many vehicles starting at $15,000 or lower, and with our great prices, we're confident we can get you set up the right way.
You heard it. Great pricing, great inventory, great people to work with, and there's a reason Mountaintop Motor Company has over 1,000 5-star reviews. Please don't settle for just any dealership. Aim higher and go visit the good guys in Troy. MountaintopMotors.com, Facebook, and Instagram.
People are talking about Don Julio's Mexican Restaurant in the Winfield Plaza and Don Julio's Taco Express at number 3 Troy Center, setting the standard for authentic Mexican food and great drinks. Carry out or dine in 7 days a week at both great locations.
7 days a week.
Stop in or order online for carry out at DonJuliosWinfield.com or DonJuliosTroy.com. Don Julio's Mexican Restaurant in the Winfield Plaza and Don Julio's Taco Express at number 3 Troy Center. And don't forget, buy one, get one free on Wednesday in Troy and on Monday in Winfield. That's Don Julio's Mexican Restaurant in the Winfield Plaza and Don Julio's Taco Express at number 3 Troy Center. Veteran owned and operated. Bringing great authentic Mexican food home to Lincoln County. Hasta pronto!
The Wrecking Crew.
What do you guys do here?
We recycle. Our typical business is picking up stuff that nobody else can get.
People may have a lot of money laying in their property and they just don't realize it.
They do. A lot of money sometimes, and not where you would think it would be.
Where are you located?
Detroit, Winfield, Vandalia, Missouri. We do boxes, trailers. We cut stuff up on site. We do insurance work. Farmers, if you have a burnt building or wind damaged building or grain bin, that's our specialty.
How do they get a hold of you?
Call me personally or call the office.
The Wrecking Crew. 636-462-1727.
Old Monroe Lumber Company has the really big tools you need to get the job done right. Not only in the retail store, but in the rental area too. Bobcats, excavators, dingoes, and lift equipment, including a 65-foot boom lift, scissor lifts, and more. Need something a little smaller? Old Monroe Lumber Company rents saws, log splitters, jackhammers, water pumps, and dump trailers. Just about anything you need delivered to your job site. Take a look online at omlumber.com.
Operating Engineers Local 513, proud to support the Mizzou Tigers, St. Louis Blues, Kansas City Chiefs, and local high school sports on News Radio KYRO. The Local 513 training program at Highway 61 and F is now accepting apprenticeship applications to build your future. Motor grader, backhoe, crane operation, and maintenance programs earn college credits and employment as an operator. Visit the Local 513 training program website at IUOE513.com and start building your future today.
Welcome to MegaNet. For slow internet, press 1. For a different customer service, press 2. For confusing pricing, press 3. For extremely long wait times, stay on the line. For 87th in line, 85th in line, 87th in line, 85th in line, 85th in line.
Where there was frustration, now there's satisfaction.
Hello, this is Helen at Gateway Fiber. How may I help you?
Isn't it time to refresh your internet provider? For more information, visit gatewayfiber.com.
Quiver River Electric Cooperative members, summer is right around the corner. While you're busy planning those trips and backyard barbecues, we're busy making your life a little easier. For a limited time, we're doubling your reward for going green. Enroll in AutoPay between now and June 30th, and you get a one-time bill credit of not $5, but $10. iKick. It's simple and secure. With AutoPay, your stay on track while you stay on vacation. To learn more, call us at 1-800-392-3709 or visit quiver.com/autopay.
Finley Shoe Store is a local family and veteran-owned tradition in historic downtown Troy, Missouri, dedicated to serving the local community and providing great customer service. Their brands include Red Wing, Irish Setter, Works, Birkenstock, Brooks, Merrill, New Balance, Skechers, Thorogood, as well as Superfleet insoles, state-of-the-art 3D foot scanner to ensure you get just the right insoles for you. Finley Shoe Store, providing men's and women's quality footwear in Lincoln County area since 1947. Finley Shoes, 636-528-8247.
Well, welcome back in our number 2 Uncensored Wrestling Talk, coming to you live from the Gateway Fiber studio of News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. We've got about 11 and a half minutes left on the show till the top of the hour. You know, we'll go for a little bit longer on our streams, of course, after that top of the hour. So if you're listening on the radio side, once again, all you got to do on either the Facebook or the YouTube, type in Uncensored Wrestling Talk. Join us there. You'll be able to see the rest of the show there. And you can also interact with us in both of those chats as well. You know, we're also on X at UW Talk, KYRO. And, you know, we've got a little Discord channel, Superfan.
Yeah, Uncensored Wrestling Talk Show. Come in, joke with us,
There
pester
you
us,
go. Pester him.
antagonize us. I'm good at
Antagonize
it.
Usually, when we have H.T. Daniels here, he will put in that link to the Discord channel in the Facebook chat room and in the YouTube chat. But you can go back to our previous episodes.
Ones.
And you can grab it from there, and boom, you can come on in. Join the party, as we like to say. Every day that ends in Y, there's a wrestling event of some sort going on, and one or two, or sometimes even all three of us here from Uncensored Wrestling Talk are in the chat room conversing with everybody. Heck, we've even done watch-alongs in there as well. So who knows? Who knows what will happen the next time you show up into that Discord? With that being said, Tommaso Ciampa going up against Chris Jericho in a very brutal beach-themed brawl. My goodness.
Whew. That match, the sand that was flying between the two. I mean, they're probably
there was
still
a lot of sand.
They're
flying.
still picking it out.
They're still picking it out. Even lawn chairs being used.
Broken lawn chairs. Right at the beginning.
Backside broke a lawn chair.
He broke one and then broke the other one. You could tell they were setting it up, but he had already broken the leg, so he just broke it over his back.
Whew. Were you surprised that Chris Jericho, though, took the loss in this one?
No. I think Jericho's really kind of just is a namesake to try to bolster other people right now. Tommaso Ciampa, I've got a soft spot for him. I mean...
Former WLW alumni.
Yeah. And I loved what he did as Blackheart in NXT.
Yeah.
It's just disappointing that we haven't seen
they
that.
They didn't really utilize him right when he got put up to the main roster, I believe.
Right.
If you
just would have kept the Blackheart character, let him roll with it, instead of put him in tag team, instead of kind of burying him along the side. Now he's the Psycho Killer back again. I love it. And I want to get a championship back on him sooner than later.
I will say that when he came in on his debut match and won the TNT Championship, I was giddy.
Oh.
I was so happy about it.
I was shocked.
I gotta be honest, I was ticked off when Ciampa lost 11 days later.
11 days.
A la Sami Zayn.
Exactly.
Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm loving Tommaso Ciampa's work in AEW right now. And I hope that they can get him another title match of some sort.
And I'm not going to say it's him, but it seems like the intensity in the matches really picked up whenever he signed and became part of AEW.
Yeah.
The whole, you got to go out and perform the person in front of you. He's performing early, and he is putting the bar pretty high for these people.
And and I wish more companies would have that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they would have that mindset, every single match would be killer.
Right.
Right? It would be just like AEW's Dynamite from this past Wednesday at Beach Blast, because every single match hit the mark.
Right.
Every single one of them. There wasn't, I believe anyway, there wasn't one bad match that entire night. Now, maybe I could have not, I don't know how to put this. Let me think for a moment. I don't know if it was the right match to put on Dynamite. I think this one match should probably have been on Collision. And the match that I'm talking about is the Jon Moxley and Will Ospreay taking on the quote-unquote the Swirl, Dave Johnson and Blake Christian. But even with that being said, that match was a very, very good match.
It was a good match. And
so
I really hope the Swirl keeps getting more shots. I like this Christian Blake.
For sure.
I mean, his movement and he's a good person. And I'd like to see them
He's
get a little bit more.
He's definitely a bad heel.
Yeah.
He's a bad man. But back to Tommaso Ciampa real quick. After the match was over with, after the bell had rung, he attacked Jericho with a steel chair and then went under the ring and grabbed that toolbox and was going to use the drill, an actual drill on him, which kind of makes me tend to think that this feud between Jericho and Ciampa, it ain't over with yet.
I don't see this one being finished until
we might see another match between them at All In.
Yeah, I could see like a cage match maybe at All In.
That would be interesting. That would be an interesting thing. A very interesting thing. Because this really wasn't a grudge match. It wasn't a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Right.
It wasn't, I'm trying to think, was it a no DQ match?
It should have been a no DQ, as much stuff that they were doing to each other outside.
And the reason why I say was it a no DQ, no count out, is because at the beginning of the match, when they went up there to the stage area,
right?
Usually in a match that doesn't have any stipulations, a regular match, and they get out and they go that far away, the referee's right along with them, right?
Yeah.
But in this situation, and in this case, the referee was not up there with him.
Right.
Or with them. He was.
I guess he got some sand in his eye and he was trying to get it cleaned out. That's why he wasn't counting.
I don't know. But again, Tommaso Ciampa getting the win. Jon Moxley, Will Ospreay getting the win over the Swirl. We've got about 3 minutes to the top of the hour here. And then, like I said, we're going to switch over to our streams and finish out over there. But also, other major show highlights. In the main event, it was Kenny Omega taking on MJF for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And I really thought going into this one that Hangman Adam Page was going to get involved some way in that one to cause MJF to lose. He did not show up.
I was shocked that he didn't show up.
Will Ospreay actually came down and kept MJF from using that crazy dynamite ring.
How many dynamite rings does he have?
Oh, he's got like 3 or 4 of them because he won 3 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
So he gets a new ring each time.
And he gave one to the ref at the beginning before the match even started.
Exactly.
So you thought, okay, the ring's not there, and
he's got
pulls out another ring.
He's got 3 of them. But Will Ospreay coming out and stopping those shenanigans. But while the referee's back was turned and dealing with Will Ospreay, he was already 3/4 up the ramp. What are you doing, ref? But MJF getting that belt and using that belt, but Kenny Omega able to kick out of it just at that last second, and a little bit later he was able to hit that one-winged angel and pick up the win.
Yeah, there was some. I'll try to keep this quick, but there was a couple of huge moves during that match where MJF literally dropped Kenny Omega on his head.
He did.
Off the top rope, flipped him backwards.
He did.
And dropped him on his head.
But there was also a few moves on the outside that MJF took pretty hard too. So it was back and
thrown
forth.
They were out in the ring and they cleared out fans and he threw them through the chairs.
So with that being said, Kenny Omega picking up the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. So at the moment, it will be Kenny Omega taking on Will Ospreay at All In Wembley Stadium in London, England. Wow, that's going to be a heck of a match. Going to be one heck of a match. But you know what? I still think Will Ospreay is going to win the championship. But is that right to Kenny Omega? Only having the title for about a month.
Don't know.
Yeah, around about a month.
It'd be about a month and a half.
It's going to be interesting. Well, with that being said, on the radio side of things, we have to bid you adieu.
Mwah.
And goodbye.
Good night. Bang.
But until next Sunday, when it'll be the Superfan and our resident referee, H.D. Daniels, right here, running the show, doing everything here. I am sorry saying thank you so much. Come join us on the Facebook page or the YouTube channel, Uncensored Wrestling Talk. But until next Sunday, hey, go watch some wrestling.
71, a dominant voice on foreign policy, a
All
key
right.
ally of President Trump, and one of the most
there,
consequential figures
there.
in modern Republican politics. We will look back on his
Okay,
legacy.
let's turn
what
that
his
down a
passing
little bit. Let's see, what else happened on AEW Dynamite? It was also announced that Jungle Jack Perry has re-signed a new contract with All Elite Wrestling, and to be quite honest, that's not a shocker.
No.
He ain't going to no WWE.
No.
Not while
yet.
CM Punk is there.
Exactly.
Not while CM
He
Punk
was
is
like,
there.
hey, Tony, how many years do you want? 10? Great. Yeah.
Yeah, I would not doubt it if it's not an extremely long contract.
Yeah.
Like a 5-year contract.
It probably
with
at least
AEW.
5 years.
So, but I wasn't surprised though that Kenny Omega beat MJF for the AEW championship.
No, because they've been kind of building this whole storyline with Omega and Kenny talking to each other, saying, yeah, you still have it, and you know, keep going forward. Now with the Death Riders and Will Ospreay, so it's kind of, yeah, makes sense. But now what do you do with MJF coming up all in? You're not going to put MJF on it? And don't say a triple threat match.
No, I don't want to see a triple threat match. I don't. I want it to be one-on-one, Will Ospreay, Ken Omega. Let's do it. Let's get it done. But yeah, that is a good question. What do you do with MJF? And you can't.
To me, that makes sense all out.
This
MJF
being
gets
the
a title
quote-unquote
shot.
biggest show of the year for All In, you can't not have MJF on that particular show. So,
Do you put MJF versus Hangman at a Page?
no.
I don't think I see it. Yeah,
I would rather right now, I would probably rather see him face somebody like Andrade El Idolo. And maybe that being a number one contenders match. But the problem there is if Andrade El Idolo is able to pick up the win against MJF, I don't, and he moves on to face the winner, whether it be Kenny Omega or Will Ospreay, which we both think right now that it will be Will Ospreay that comes out the victor. I don't see Andrade winning the championship. So again, build up, just right back into the water.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's one reason why, if I'm saying I don't know about a product, then they're intriguing me. Right now, AEW has got my vote of I don't know where they're going. So
true.
That helps with the intrigue. You know, compared to WWE, yeah, it's predictable. I know what's going to happen.
There are some things in AEW that you can put money down on,
right?
And say, you know, this is exactly what's going to happen, and it comes to fruition to the T.
Right.
But there's also quite a bit that goes on that makes you go, wow, didn't see that one coming.
Right.
Like, for example, Willow Nightingale on Wednesday night getting into that gauntlet match.
Right.
Did not foresee that because she was supposed to be out on an injury, a shoulder injury, and most shoulder injuries are several months.
Right.
Of surgery, rehab, you know, the whole physical therapy thing, the whole 9 yards, really. So, very cool stuff on AEW Dynamite. Real quick, Friday night SmackDown. Finn Balor going up against Tama Tonga, and Finn Balor getting the win on that one. And you know, I kind of think maybe now it's going to be Tama Tonga that'll go up against Finn Balor. And maybe
Makes sense.
Tonga comes out as the victor in that one. But round and round we go. Where is it going to stop? Nobody knows.
Right. I mean, let's be honest. Tonga and Tonga need to be in the tag team championship picture.
Maybe.
That's it. But with the whole bloodline, who knows where they're going to go? You know.
Yeah. Jade Cargill getting the win against Alexa Bliss on Friday night, but after the match, injuring Alexa Bliss very badly with that arm, with the arm being in the chair and stomping down on it, and it looked like with Charlotte Flair holding Bliss, it looked like her arm was hyperextended that elbow.
Yeah.
So
if you go back and watch it, there's a little queasy moment if you really look at it, because literally her elbow is bent the wrong way in the
and it almost looked like there was a pointing in coming up.
Right.
So it looks like maybe Alexa Bliss is gonna be out for quite some time coming up, which means she'll probably miss SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Them's the breaks, kid. Jimmy Uso versus Royce Keys. What'd you think about this one? The build-up.
The whole, Royce came out and had some good points for Jacob Fatu, and Jacob Fatu again told Jimmy, hey, I don't take orders from you. I'm not doing anything. You stepped into this fight with Royce Keys. You have to figure it out.
Well, Jimmy Uso coming out the victor in that one, but not until, Solo Sikoa had tried to interfere, which was cut off by Jacob Fatu coming back down and getting involved with Solo Sikoa, and that kind of left it open for Jimmy to hit a spear on Royce Keys, who was kind of paying attention to the fracas going outside and picking up the victory. And the fight between Jacob Fatu and Solo spills back into the ring. And I didn't understand why Royce stopped Jacob Fatu when he was beating down on Solo Sikoa. That part didn't make any sense.
It didn't make any sense. The only thing that really kind of came out of that is the fact that Solo got put in a chair in the corner, and Jacob Fatu was lining up for the hip attack. That's been known.
But not until after.
This is after all the
he super kicked Royce Keys, who he had said not that long before he wasn't going to do anything to Royce Keys.
Right.
The heck.
Right. But here comes Jacob Fatu running at full steam, going to do a hip attack with a chair around the neck, which has put people out for months. Stops.
Yep.
And whispers in the ear, you come home or you come to Monday Night Raw. Otherwise, next time I'm not going to stop.
Yep. Trick Williams going up against Carmelo Hayes in a non-title match. And this one ended up being a no contest for a shocking return from Baron Corbin back in the WWE. And he laid out both Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes with the end of days and kind of stood tall holding that United States Championship belt.
Yeah.
Good to see Baron Corbin.
I've always enjoyed Baron Corbin. I hated poor Corbin and I hated rich Corbin. Just give me Baron Corbin, the lone wolf.
Yep, same here. That's what I want to see too. And then the CM Punk SummerSlam announcement. Who CM Punk, as we had stated earlier, won the undisputed WWE Championship from Sami Zayn on Monday Night Raw, making his first blue brand appearance as champion. And that massive main event for SummerSlam being made official between CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. But, afterwards, Gunther coming in, interrupting, and this actually ended the night. He came out, demanded Nick Aldis to come out, and demanded to be added to that SummerSlam main event. And General Manager Nick Aldis refused to alter the match, which infuriated Gunther.
And told him
he
that he's going to
snapped.
have to tag with Sami Zayn.
You're jumping me. Infuriated Gunther snapped and brutally attacked Aldis, locking him in a sleeper hold, which he held on to that thing quite a long time.
Yeah.
And before that jump, he did say that it was going to be Cody Rhodes and CM Punk against Gunther and Sami Zayn, and that Gunther and Sami Zayn matchup really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but there it is.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen in Saturday night's main event next Saturday night. Your thoughts on that one?
Again, I think this is since now we have CM Punk as the champion. The reason I think Gunther and Sami Zayn are going to pick up the win, I think this is where the division files out between Punk and Cody. Something's going to happen during that match to cause a rift, and one of the two is going to walk out on the other.
Yeah, could be. It could be. It could be. Hey, jumping real quick to last night's AEW Collision. Hangman Adam Page making his emotional return to the ring, making it clear that despite his comeback, the AEW World Title is not in his, I guess you could say, immediate crosshairs. But buddy, you lost a match to MJF that stated you can never go for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship ever again. It wasn't as long as MJF held it.
Right.
It was ever again. So there it is.
They put themselves in a pigeonhole with this one, if you ask me.
Yep.
Because how do you have somebody say he's going to do his word and be honest to his word? He agreed to it. He lost it. He lost the match. He can't challenge. But in all honesty, he should be in the main event heavyweight championship picture. Is he going to be satisfied with the TNT championship?
He better be.
Intercontinental championship.
He better
the
be.
National championship.
He better be.
I don't think he will be.
Too bad. He's lost his chance to ever be AEW World Heavyweight Champion ever again. And that's the bottom line. So he better be okay with going after other belts.
Which belt do you think he's going to go after first?
That's a hard question. That's a hard question. Maybe Mark Davis in the National Championship, possibly.
See, I was thinking it's going to be more international with Kyle Fletcher. Because everybody's
Kyle Fletcher is not losing that international championship.
But everybody was clamoring for Page and Fletcher before he even lost it to MJF.
I know, but right away, no. I wouldn't do it right away. I would maybe have him go after Mark Davis instead. Doing the fight against Don Callis family type thing first. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hey, anything else from this week from the world of professional wrestling that you want to chit-chat about real quick before we get out of here?
I really, the only thing again is how much better is AEW over WWE right now?
Quite a bit.
mean, I'd rather sit down and watch AEW in what's going on. And like I said, there's times now that I don't know what direction they're going to take, or what's the outcome, and it makes it more intriguing for me. And come on, WWE, you gotta figure that shit out. Otherwise, yes, I know you got the money train. You're always going to have the money. But really, the product is crap that you're putting down our throat.
Sometimes. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, with that being said, we want to say thank you to all of you watching on the streams. We thank you so much. Next Sunday morning, it will be the Superfan. It will be our resident referee, Mr. 123 Yeet, HD Daniels sitting in this chair controlling the boards, as they will be doing Uncensored Wrestling Talk next Sunday morning. And with that being said, until next Sunday, y'all go watch some wrestling.